and then I'm gonna start. Okay. And the live stream. And while you're waiting for me to set it up, I would love for you to drop in the chat who you are and what it is that you do. So you can also get to know each other a little bit, and yeah, just to introduce yourself. Okay, I need 1 more minute. Okay, we're gonna start. Thank you all for your patience. It was a bit of a messy technical start, but I'm super excited for you all to be here. And I'm going to explain a little bit of the outline of the call that we have today and introduce myself as well. And then we're going to dive in the Q&A. Yeah, so the first thing that I want to share is that this call is something that I would love for it to be more interactive. We're not with that many people, so if you don't have any disturbing background sounds, you can just unmute and be present with me today. And I already asked who you are and to drop that in the chat, so I will also go over that in a bit and just read it out loud for everybody to know what awesome people are here today and who decided to prioritize showing up for this Q&A call and getting some answers that hopefully move you forward in your business with attracting premium clients. I already saw in the sign-up form, because everybody here actually made an effort to sign up today. I saw a really good question, so I'm very excited to dive into those. And I also want to share a little bit about what you can expect from today, who this call is actually for, and also why I'm hosting this event. Because this call is really for those who are wanting to sell premium offers and needs to find out how to raise their prices, how to position themselves differently, or those who are already selling premium offers, but they feel that something could be different. It might not even mean that you're not selling enough right now, but that you're selling in a way that doesn't feel aligned with you, that you're more chasing than attracting. It could also mean that you are selling premium offers, but not consistently, and that you are looking for some structure and some clarity around how you can actually attract more clients. And I'm hosting this event because I really love to be in a group setting. I really love to be in the energy of the people that I can serve, the people that I can help in this journey. And for me personally, the best way to do that is in a group setting, which I do also in the Magnetic Mastermind, which is my signature offer. And I do their weekly Q&A calls. And I know how it is to hire a coach and to decide between who's actually going to be a good fit to guide me on this journey. And what often is the case is that you cannot really look inside of the program and what is actually going to happen there. So there's a lot of trust that needs to come from your end to put trust in me, also to put trust in you that you're making the right decision to find the right coach. And by hosting this event, I want to show you a little bit of how it is to be in a Q&A call with me, to be able to ask me questions, to have my eyes on your work. I do have to give a little disclaimer there as well, because obviously we only have a limited amount of time. And when I have these Q&A calls in the Magnetic Mastermind, I am very much aware of who I'm serving, who my client is, where they're at in their journey. And they also have access to the learning environment of the Magnetic Mastermind. So the setting is a little bit different. But I'm going to give this call my everything, and I'm just going to help you as good as possible. And of course, it helps if you come in with really good specific questions. And all of you who signed up already thought of the question that you want to have answered today. So that's really cool. This episode is live streamed inside my Facebook group. What is the name again? Sell More Premium Offers is the name. And you can watch the replay there. So also if you are here with me today, I really recommend for you to be present, and you can take notes obviously, but when you're in the hot seat of the coaching, just surrender, just listen, and know that there's also going to be a replay. I'm also going to upload this on the podcast because I want more people to experience this Q&A call, and I've decided to do this type of event every quarter. This is an event that can really help you move forward. So you can definitely look out for the next free event. But like I also explained, it is not the same as actually working with me in a dedicated container, and also you being dedicated to scale your business. But this is definitely something that excites me. And that is something what I want to show you as well. You can really build your sales system and broadcast what you do to your audience in a way that feels aligned with you. And one of my powers is really to be in a group setting and to share what I know and to be activated. I'm a manifesting generator, which means that I can initiate, but also that I can respond. And that's why the Q&A setting works really well for me as well. I don't actually work a lot with human design, but this is one of the nice things to explain why I know that this works really well for me. Okay, so I am gonna briefly introduce myself, and then I'm gonna also look in the chat to introduce everybody who's on here with me. Actually, I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna see who everybody of you is, and then maybe share a little bit in my introduction that matches that as well. I see Scott. He says, I'm just getting started in building a coaching program for veterans here in Australia. And I know you've been doing a lot of certificates, right? You can nod or you can unmute and say yes, whatever feels comfortable for you.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit. I had to put everything on pause for a while because I've just come back from Australia to Australia from overseas. So put things on pause for about 3 or 4 months, but now I'm starting to get back into everything again. So yeah.
Nice. Happy that you're here and good to meet you officially. That's also why I host these events, because a lot of you have been talking to in the DMs, and this is a way to really connect and to tap into your energy, and for you also to tap into mine. Kashni, mindset and manifestation coach. Chantel, I think Chantel, I pronounce it right. Skincare coach, super interesting. B, I'm a transformational pre-postnatal and birth support coach, mentor. It's amazing. I worked with a client once who was making a conscious motherhood program. It's so fascinating. Donna, she says, it's my first time here. I'm a visionary and an entrepreneur. I'm an abundance coach, meditation facilitator, intuitive, and healer. I'm here as an extension of my mentor to learn from Amé so we can expand his community and bring in phenomenal clients. Yes, that's Otto Gomez. He's in my highest one-on-one offer right now. He's just getting started, and Donna is supporting him. So very nice to meet you here. And we're going to talk a lot more over the next months for sure. Marita, a copywriter for mainly health and weight loss, business and coaches. And also, if you see somebody in the chat that you resonate with, you can also send them a message and connect. And you can also share your Instagram or wherever you feel most called to connect. Monique, you've been in the Magnetic Mastermind. Super excited that you're joining today. I see you're on a walk. Looks super nice there. My name is Monique from the Netherlands. I'm a spiritual leadership coach and help female entrepreneurs to create an awesome offer that fits by their longings, purpose, and gifts. I see you made a little switch there. That's super interesting. My more clear question. Oh yeah, the questions I'll come after this. I will also give a brief introduction of myself because it's always nice to know who I am and who you're actually listening to. I'm Amé. I'm from the Netherlands originally, and I've been living as a digital nomad mostly in Portugal and Spain, mostly in Tenerife and Ericeira. And right now I'm in Ericeira in Portugal. And I help expert coaches and healers to attract premium clients consistently with high vibe messaging and sales systems that work for them. And when I say premium, I mean an offer. I help my clients create or upgrade their offers, mostly between the price range of 2,000 and 10,000. And when I say expert coaches and healers, experts, we'll talk a bit more about this as well. But when you're selling premium offers, when you're selling in that price range, you need to bring your own expertise. That is not something that I can teach you. You really need to come with an expertise, whether that means having a certificate and really having studied the thing that you're going to give to others, or that you've gone through the transformation yourself, or maybe that you've helped other clients in your experience already, or in your in a previous job, in a corporate job, to undergo that transformation as well. And if you guys have questions about this later, we can also talk about it in the Q&A call. And then my signature way of helping people sell premium offers is to focus on attracting, not chasing. So not hunting them down in the DMs, forcing them to buy from you, or forcing them to have a conversation by following up 10,000 times, but really to attract and stand in your power. And I do that with high vibe messaging, really activating and empowering people. So not the pain point marketing that a lot of coaches teach you, or that you might have been using before, where you're explaining to somebody that they need to work with you because otherwise something terrible is going to happen. They're never going to live the life they desire. I approach it more from a point where when you work with me, you're going to get the results you're going to get anyway, but then a lot faster and a lot more enjoyable during the journey. So I believe that all of you are so capable, especially you guys here in this call, because you made an effort to show up for yourself, to show up for your business. And that is the type of client that I work with, because they show up for themselves. And that's also the dynamic in coaching. With high vibe messaging, you call in clients that are actually ready to do the work and are willing to do the work. And that's when you start to feel a shift in your business, because the connection you have with your clients is really magical. Then also I help my clients with sales systems that work for them. And that means that we're really going to find what works for you. I'm doing this free Q&A call right now to connect with potential clients, also to show my work and to show my expertise. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it the same way. It's really about finding what works for you. Like, everybody lives a unique life, so there's no one size fits all solution. So and the type of clients that I work with, I think everybody here fits that description really nicely. I've worked with many different types of coaches, because the premium business model is really suitable for the coaching model, but also some done for you offers with website builders or with interior designers. With coaches, you can think of an empowerment coach, intuitive eating coach. I've worked with a Yoni retreat host, energy healers. So I'm very excited to see all of you here and what you guys are doing. And then it is time to really dive into the Q&A, because that's why we're here, right? To really, for you to come with the questions and for me to come with the answers. How we're going to structure this, I've already seen your questions. But what I would love for you is to drop your number one question in the chat. Oh, wait, I'm forgetting something. I would love for you to also drop in how you actually know me and what content you've seen from me so far, so that I also have a little bit of an idea what you've seen, what you know. Because like I said in this Q&A call, most of you are kind of new to me. Like, we've talked a little bit on social media, but I'm not super familiar with your business and where you're at and the beliefs that you have around running a business. So if you can share with me how long you've been following me and what content you've seen. So maybe some of the free trainings, maybe you've actually worked in one of my programs with me, then drop it in the chat so that I know the level of knowledge that you have in the field that I personally work in. Yes, Monique has been in the mastermind. Donna began with the mastermind in module 1. Awesome. Scott, following you for 6 months, but haven't accessed any of your content yet. Ooh, that's exciting. I know my content, like the content on social media, also explains a bit. But yeah, if you take the time to dive into some of my freebies, there's like so much more that I have there to share, because I can really take some time to explain. And I saw a post today about social media, and this is also for you guys to know about how people consume content on social media. What you probably also notice when you follow my content, when you are on social media, you're not fully focused. Your brain is always a little bit consuming it, but also onto the next thing, distracted. So when you're actually wanting to dive deep into these type of topics, everybody who is present here and also those who are watching the replay are already investing more time. So they're already more serious and willing about actually making a change in their business. But that's also for you to know, like, how much time am I actually investing in gaining clarity on what my next step should be. So that's definitely also an invite, if this call resonates, to also look for the next step. And I also forgot to mention that after the Q&A call, I'm going to take 5 to 10 minutes to also explain what that next step could be in the Magnetic Mastermind. So you have more of a vision. What could that be if I really like this coaching, if I want more of this, if I want to be in an activating container where the high vibe is present and where the premium sales are highlighted and everything is explained about that, then I'm going to share a little bit about that as well. Of course, you can also ask questions during, but while we're going into the Q&A section right now, what I want for you all is to drop in the questions in the chat. The first question gets the first answer. And there's another way to also ask questions to make this as valuable as possible. When I'm answering a question from somebody else and your question fits in perfectly and it's kind of an extension of that question, just raise your hand in the Zoom call with one of those hands, and then I'll go to you. If it's not in alignment and you're just trying to skip the line, I will also call you out on that. But if it is in alignment, it's beneficial for everyone to do it at the same time. So while you drop in your questions, I'm going to start with the first one. And when I'm going over your question, you can unmute yourself. We're just going to chat a little bit. We have 45 minutes left, and I will take the last 10 minutes to talk a bit about the offer, the Magnetic Mastermind, for those who are interested in that. And that means we have, I think, around 8 minutes per person. So we have a lot of time to answer it, probably more than we need. So that's perfect. I'm going to start with Monique. Her question is, and you can already unmute, my more clear question: I am looking for a clear message to share my mission, vision, and stick with that. I have had so many transformations recently. What is great, but makes it also all over the place. So clearance. Okay, love that. Yeah, you can unmute and we'll go a bit back and forth. Because what I know from you is that when you worked with me, you were in one of your biggest transformations of becoming a wild woman. And we also wanted to position you in giving that to others, but it was actually a bit too soon, right?
Yeah.
And now I see you made a shift. I am a spiritual leadership coach and help female entrepreneurs, so that's already a different niche, to create an awesome offer that fits by their longings, purpose, and gifts. Can you explain a bit more about this shift and how it came to you that you want to go in this direction?
Yeah, I think from when I go back, I started 13 years ago as a entrepreneur myself. And then I experienced a lot of failing and went into the darkness. But in that time, I was already helping entrepreneurs, not especially female, also male entrepreneurs or CEOs, to create a experience for their clients that really was really special. But then I went into spiritual awakening. And a lot of transformations and shifting happened. And when I was in the mastermind, I found out that I was actually writing my own transformation as a business idea. And I have always like thousands of ideas. So I'm really this creative idea machine. And first, I always thought that everything that popped up in my mind and I thought was amazing, that it was for me to do. But that's not the case. So now I found out more clarity about why I'm here for, what's my purpose. And it is a combination of business and spirituality that I know for sure, but I don't have to teach the other persons exactly the transformations I went through. And in the same time, I teach them the experience or the transformations I went through, but not everything will fit the other person. So it's really depends on the question and what kind of people I want to attract.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think in the mastermind, I made a great business idea for somebody.
Yeah,
and
probably that person is going to
so
come along your way as well, because I know how connected you are with the field and calling people in. So that's going to be soon, probably. Okay. Yeah. Let me take a step back there with with like the general foundation of what you need when you're working on creating your offer and picking your niche and really doing the ground laying of what you're going to build. And for everybody listening, when you have an aha moment, I really would love for you to drop it in the chat so other people can also read it, but also for yourself to anchor it in. Like, this is something I'm really shifting in my brain right now. This is an insight that I'm going to take with me after the call. So yeah, if you have that experience, drop it in the chat. Yeah, so the first thing that I teach is I don't believe in picking a niche. I believe in transformation. You're familiar with that part, but I think also for the others to explain it a bit better makes sense. So what I do differently than most is when you're picking your transformation, tap into the desire and the desired outcome of the person that you want to serve. And we all have three desires, three core desires, which Russell Brunson also talks a lot about, the three core markets, which is wealth, relationship, and health. Those are the three. And every time in our lives, another of these three is most present. Probably for most of you, because you are here today, the most present one is growing your business. So is wealth. So then sometimes it gets unclear that other people have different desires. And that is just a reminder for everybody who's not serving the wealth markets when you're in health or healing, which could still also serve the wealth market actually. But in general, if you are focused on wealth, it's sometimes harder to believe other people are more focused on health. But just a comparison, when I was in my burnout, I didn't care about creating more wealth. I really wanted to get healthy again. So those are the three core desires. And every time in your life, in different times, one of those is more present. That is for you, but that's also for your future clients. So when you're positioning yourself and you're talking about the end result, because people buy because of the end result of what they are going to gain from working with you, focusing on one of those three categories is really going to make it more clear why people should work with you. So that's the first thing that I help people do in the Magnetic Mastermind, to really make sure which one of those three are you serving right now. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be like that, but you definitely want to commit at least for 6 months to position yourself in the right way for the right type of client. And then in the mastermind, I really help my clients find the right fit, because this is, especially if you're not really good at choosing, or if your market is not the most clear in this part, could be hard. But I think for Monique, going back to mission and vision. Oh no, I have had so many transformations. Like clearance. Yeah, clarity on who you're going to serve, right? That's the question. So for you, knowing
Yeah,
that
no,
you want to help,
the message I'm focusing on. So my message goes like all over the place.
yeah, and that is because you haven't decided on these three.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to
did
skip this
actually,
step?
but I'm not conscious of it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wealth. I know
Yeah,
it's in
it's
my
wealth.
purpose to bring more wealth to women. So
Exactly.
to myself and to women. So that's yeah.
So going
Clear.
over your introduction again, because I think that makes a lot of sense, fine-tuning the messaging, is I am a spiritual leadership coach. And this is something that just needs to resonate with you. Spiritual leadership coach, perfectly fine. You could also say spiritual business coach, if that is more resonating with the type of clients. But it's not really about the name or the type of coach that you are. It's really about the transformation. So the part after is more important. I help female entrepreneurs, which female entrepreneurs is more specific already. So that's really good, to create an awesome offer. This is very specific. So if you really want to help them create the offer, and I know you've been in the Magnetic Mastermind, you've worked with other business coaches, so you have also expertise there. You have had your previous businesses. So creating an offer can definitely make sense, but still it is very broad, because what type of offer? So that is something to also check in with you for yourself, like what is it actually that my expertise is, because that's not something I can tell you, but really for you to tap into, like, how is my expertise there relevant and what am I actually teaching? That fits by their longings, purpose, and gifts. And that's where you can tap into the result and the desired result based on wealth. So I would mix that up a little bit, knowing, okay, I help female entrepreneurs create more wealth. That's the baseline. And from there, you can make it more juicy and make it more you. So then it would be, I help female entrepreneurs with their desired results. So that's more wealth. I help female entrepreneurs make more money in their business, something like that. It really depends, like, what an entrepreneur means for you. And this is something you can also find out during market research, and also diving into the people that you've worked with before. Like you mentioned that you were before already helping entrepreneurs. So what type of entrepreneurs, what resonated there, who is in your audience right now? So doing some market research there, and also to tap into with your own, like, expertise, what can I give them? Because that's what Premium Offers is also about, to really know this is what I can do for you. And then it's about the desired result. So that's about the wealth. And then the method, how you're going to do that for them. So in your case, if the method, like it sounds here, is helping them create an offer, then get more specific. What is that offer? How am I going to do that? What are the tools that I'm going to give them? What is it that makes me different from every other spiritual business coach or spiritual leadership coach? And I know that you also work a lot with dance therapy and activating the wild woman, because you were doing all of those things, and that could definitely be something that you integrate in what you do. But with this statement right now, you focus a lot on helping them create an offer, but there's a lot of unclarity around what type of offer. So it's really about making sure you know the core desire, then knowing your own method, so your own expertise, and then mixing that together with how you can make a really clear statement that makes sense to you, so it will also make sense to others.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
And can you answer the question you said now? Can you continue?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can continue. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I see a question from B.
Really clear.
And when you have a follow-up question on this, you can raise the hand in the Zoom chat, so then I see it immediately. But now I see it in the chat as well. And she asks, do you have to choose only one? I would say yes, because if you choose more, you're just making it harder for yourself and for other people to understand you. And if you can really choose one, it doesn't mean that you cannot talk about the other core desires. It just means you have focus and that you call in that type of person. So there's definitely a different type of ideal client that will respond to how you put your main messaging. So for instance, for me, I have a good example. One of my clients, Natalie, she is a CEO health coach. And with her, we worked on her positioning, because sometimes it's really clear. Like with Monique, it's about wealth, because it's about growing your business. So it's really clear. But with Natalie, her expertise is actually health and the menstrual cycle and nutrition. But she also wanted to work with entrepreneurs. So then in her case, she really felt that wealth wasn't the main thing that she wanted to establish for them. So instead of that, she chose to market health, and that's how she calls in people. So she talks about the core desire of health and how she can help with that, but she also speaks to entrepreneurs. So this is just the first decision that you make. In the Magnetic Mastermind, I have 2 worksheets that help you through the transformation and positioning and messaging and gain a lot of clarity on this, because it can be a bit tricky to go by this completely by yourself, especially because you have to mirror yourself. And also when I was doing my messaging for the first time in this business that I started 1.5 or 2 years ago now, I had a coach by my side as well, because when you're deep down in your own messaging and in your own niche, it can be quite hard because you are the expert and you're very much in the expert language and in your expertise, but you have to connect with the market, which market research will help you with as well. But you also have to check in with yourself. Like, what is my zone of genius? Where do I feel most comfortable? And some people skip that step and go immediately into connecting with the market. But it also needs to be aligned with who you are as a person, because otherwise you're building a business that is not completely you. Okay, that was my answer for that question. I see Keshni also has a question. I am brand new to this business and I'm still finding my feet. Even though I'm new, I know that I want to work with premium clients, but because I'm new, I feel imposter syndrome when having to charge a higher amount. How do I overcome this? Okay, Keshni, can you maybe explain a little bit more about your background and what you mean exactly when you say I'm brand new to this? Because what I've noticed from being in this space for a very long time now, people mean a lot of different things when they say they're new to something. So if you want to explain a bit, that would be awesome.
Hi, Ami. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So basically, I don't even know if I'm explaining or asking my question correctly. So because I'm new to the business and I don't have clients as yet, I haven't gotten my first client as yet. When people ask me what my price is and I give them my premium price, there's a part of me that just feels like, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. Because I don't have, anything to prove it as yet. Although I know that I can get the results. So when I did ask that question, I did do some soul searching on the question itself to figure out where it comes from, and I think maybe it's related to energetics, and really fine tuning exactly, what I do, who I am, and what my ideal client is. And I think maybe if that is aligned, that will help with my imposter syndrome. But that's just my view on it.
Yes. Okay. Lots of things here. And I've read all your questions as well. So I'm going to weave in some of the other questions, because I know Scott, for instance, asked something about not having testimonials and how to get started. And Alex, she's not here, but I think she will catch the replay. She sent in a question also about pricing and creating offers on different price ranges. So let's talk about that. And I also, I don't know who it was, but somebody else also said something about imposter syndrome. I'm actually releasing a podcast episode on the imposter syndrome, I think next week, where I dive really deep into this topic and give some solutions to solve it. But what I'm also hearing from you is maybe you are using imposter syndrome as a summary of all the things you're experiencing. And there's just a lack of clarity of what to do, how to price, all these things. And then it comes together, and you probably heard somewhere imposter syndrome. I don't feel worthy of this price. I don't know how to explain the price to people. I think I have imposter syndrome. But imposter syndrome is more you actually thinking that you're a fraud. But I also hear you say, I know I can help people, right?
Yes.
So let's start there first. What is it that you are selling, and what is your expertise in that field?
So I am marketing myself as a mindset and manifestation coach. But if I go deeper into it, I know that I can, help people heal, wounding, inner child, traumas, those kind of things. And through those processes, help them with the manifestation process. So that's where I'm at the moment. So I don't know if that is still too much. It's just too up in the air, and I still need to
Let's
be a
take a
bit more
step back
specific.
before we dive into the messaging. How did you become a mindset manifestation and healing coach or healer? What was your path leading up to that? Did you do any certifications? Did you work with clients? Did you work on yourself? What did that look like?
I've done all of that. I've unknowingly been working with clients. Like, a lot of people come to me and I share my own journey. So I do a lot of self-study myself, but I have worked with a coach. I've done a 6-month course. I've worked with 2 coaches before, and she does provide a certificate for that. And I've gone through the process. I've helped myself, and like I said, I have helped other people. So I do have testimonials, but it's from people very close to me and people in my inner circle. And that's all I have to start off with at the moment. I am trying to branch out and get, testimonials from other people.
So it does not matter that those are your close friends. It's probably even like, it really depends on the scenario, but having a close friend wanting to work with you is a really good sign. And it doesn't downgrade the review in any type of form. But also, you don't need reviews to get started. Of course it helps. Of course, it's so much better when somebody else can put their trust in you and wants to advocate for you. That is actually great. So some people start out by doing free sessions or low priced sessions, and it's quite easy, I would say, when you know how to do it. If you have been selling at a lower price point and you have reviews, to then pivot towards a higher price point, a higher positioning. Also, the things that you mentioned, like having a certificate, having worked with coaches yourself, your own journey, all those things are also establishing trust for people to want to work with you. And I'm checking this because some people want to dive into premium offers without having any expertise. And then I have to call them out on that and tell, like, look, this is for people who have an expertise. Otherwise, you are going to feel like an imposter, because you basically are. If you're starting out by charging 2,000 euros for an offer that you just created in your mind without either going through the transformation yourself or having somebody teach it to you, yes, then it makes sense that you feel like an imposter, because you are trying out things for a high price point without having any type of structure or proof for it. But that doesn't sound like that's the case for you. So that's really good. That means that you could sell premium offers. And then you go to the next step, because basically how I identify experts is by going through the transformation themselves. So that could be going through burnouts, healing from depression, healing health issues, building a tiny house, all these things that you have done yourself, and then you can create a framework around it. The second one is when you have a certificate, when you studied something, when you worked a corporate job and you really learned the skill set that you need to provide this transformation. So when you have the clarity that you are capable and that you can sell, you could still have the imposter syndrome, because it could be something that your inner child is calling you out on, or like more the mindset work that probably you can work on with people even better than I can, although I have a lot of experience from people working with me to understand what is going on, and also from my own experience. But my expertise is really helping my clients understand how they can sell. And what I've seen in the past is that people hide behind imposter syndrome because it's easy, instead of actually acknowledging, I know the skills to give this transformation, but that's not enough. What you need as an entrepreneur is to have the skills, have the expertise, but also know how to be an entrepreneur, know how to create a premium offer, how to sell it, how to have the messaging around it, really have clarity in how you're positioning yourself. And it sounds like that is probably more what you're struggling with, because you said, I know I can deliver on this. So that's already kind of like telling you the imposter syndrome is not it. Probably what happens, and you can confirm after this example, is that when people come to you asking about your offer and you drop your price, there isn't a lot of build up towards that price. So there's not a lot of explanation. There's not a lot of claiming your authority, sharing why you're actually really good at what you do, but also having a clear offer that offers a clear transformation based on the client's result that they desire. So to have like this framework that you guide them through instead of just having tools. That's a big difference, because when you have tools and you know, okay, this is like, if let's say you are good in mindset, but how can I explain this? Let me think about this better. It's the difference between when you say I'm an EFT coach, very specific technique, or I'm a hypnotherapist coach, but actually somebody is not looking for that because that's the tool. They're looking for the transformation. They want to heal from something. So a very clear example is people don't buy a hammer because they want a hammer. They buy a hammer because they want to have something like smashed in the wall. That's why they buy it. So when you can explain that, that's basically messaging. And when you can't, it gets really awkward. And that's probably what you've been experiencing, where you're talking about the offer, but you actually don't have the vocabulary or the market vocabulary to explain why they should work with you. So then the conversation becomes a lot about the price, and you're very focused on the price being very high, and not knowing how to explain that to them makes it also very hard to stand in your power when you say the price. Yes. And then I see Monique saying, I am fully secure about my price now after working with MA. My offer of a mentorship is 5,555. Yes. So that's when we do this work, you gain a lot of clarity. Kashni, can you reply to what I shared?
I think that you are spot on. I think, especially now after talking it through with you, it is about me being able to explain. Because I think when you're starting off, a lot of the things, or in my experience, even working with the coaches, it's all people that are not in my circle of friends, not in my community, not even in my country. So it's very difficult to bring that information back to the people that are close to me. So I can't really have these conversations. So I understand what's happening in my own mind. And you're 100% spot on. I need to understand how to verbalize and put it into messaging so that people understand exactly what it is that I can offer and the transformation that I can create or that I offer. Yes.
And that's also in the Magnetic Mastermind what we do, because in the Magnetic Mastermind, that's the first foundation. Gain clarity on your offer, how it's structured also. So really make it even better, or make the first draft of it if you're positioning towards premium for the first time. And then the messaging, how to resonate with the market, doing market research. A lot of coaches skip this step, but it's really about like marketing. It's about the market, right? It's not about just sharing what you want to offer, because people buy because they want something and not just because you offer it. And then the messaging part is also how you explain the value of your offer if you don't have any testimonials yet. Because you need to get people on board with your offer, with why they want to invest in your offer. And that's where messaging comes in. Marketing is where you promote yourself. So what platform you hang out on, really the place can also be offline. And messaging is how you explain what you offer. And when you can actually explain that, you speak the same language as your client. Sometimes I compare it to speaking French in China. If you're just talking from your own perspective about your offer, somebody who is not familiar with all the expert language, they're not going to resonate with what you're selling because it does not make sense to them. I haven't seen a lot of questions in the chat, but I also want to be mindful of the time. So if you guys have specific questions that you brought that you want to ask, then drop them here. I also saw that Chantal said that the keyboard doesn't work. So I am going to help you out with that, because I know you sent in a question. So I'm going to peek at that one. And everybody else, drop in the chat if you have a question, because we're almost out of time. So if you want your question answered, just drop it in there and I'll make sure to at least look at it for a little bit. Let's see what the question was from Chantal. Okay, procrastination and imposter syndrome. So we talked already about the imposter syndrome. The procrastination I can also talk about. And how to set up multiple payment methods other than PayPal, since Thailand does not allow foreigners to use it anymore. This is a very specific question that I'm not going to answer here because it's very technical and it's not the best use of what I'm an expert in. So that's also a heads up for everybody joining this Q&A call. Really tap into what is my expertise, which is high vibe messaging, attracting premium clients, sales systems. So also for the next edition in 3 months, bring a question that you know you will get the most value from, because this is also something that you could Google and I am not going to answer that. And I'm sure you can figure it out. I also am a big fan of finding the easiest solutions. So if a bank transfer is just that, then go with a bank transfer. Especially when you're in the premium space, you don't have to have everything set up perfectly because you're very much working one-to-one with somebody. And there is a lot of space for just being human and not having the perfect business set up yet. Okay. Anybody else with a question? I can also look in the document if there was one that I really liked, because I feel like there were more. I had a question: what strategies what strategies can work quick and what strategies are more for the long run? This is also something in the Magnetic Mastermind that I work with, because when you join the mastermind, we focus first on the messaging part. But also the messaging part is not something I can only tell you. Of course, I have a lot of experience in a lot of different fields and it's my expertise, but also the market needs to be on board with your messaging. So in the mastermind, it's structured in a way that the messaging gets tested immediately and that you can already sign your first clients. So there are some activation strategies where you are more reaching out. And of course, there's still the dynamic between, am I chasing somebody or am I like showing my work and inviting people to actually look more into that. So that's always something that I check in with for the strategies that I teach, but also for my clients. How do they feel when they send out a message like that? And one of the activation strategies is really an update message that you can send to your audience where you're talking about your offer. And this one, I always have people do in the Magnetic Mastermind, even if they already had an offer and are upgrading it. And then they get most of the time their first sales from that specific strategy. Sydney, a holistic health coach that worked with me, she signed her first client for $2,700 pay in full after 2 weeks being in the program, 2.5 weeks in the program. So it can go really, really fast, especially when you put in the work. But then on the long-term strategy, you want to have a sales system that is more consistent, where you have clarity on your daily and your weekly tasks, and you include inbound and outbound marketing to actually grow your audience, which is outbound marketing, and activate the buyers in your audience, which is inbound marketing. And that's also something in the Magnetic Mastermind. When you have your foundation, when you have your messaging, then we work on actually building that sales system that works for you. Because if you're building out the system before your messaging is clear, then you're just kind of building the infrastructure, but nobody speaks the language of that infrastructure, if that makes sense. I see B saying, I'm working on building my audience. I can see who my followers are and who are watching my stories and commenting, etc. They're my friends and not making babies. I'm not really sure if I understand this one. You can unmute if you want to add something to that. Oh yeah, it's because you work with moms and in the that you can unmute and maybe add a question. I don't know if there was a question to that as well. This is the last question to answer, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you've kind of answered it as you've been talking anyway. And even in the last little bit of what you just said is getting the messaging right, because before now I've been doing, we've spoken a little bit, I don't know if you remember, but I've been doing so I've been doing my certification because I was missing so much, as you said as well, about the imposter syndrome, me not having anything but wanting to do this work. So I went back and did that. But I'm now in the place where I can actually start working with people, and I have had a few paid clients, so that's really cool. But yeah, I need to work on the messaging so I'm attracting the right kind of people. So it's nice to have the support from my friends because they've all had babies already, so I'm kind of going for a younger troop of mamas. Yeah.
So the question might be, how do I grow my audience with?
Yeah. Okay. Tell me that.
Okay, so well, the first most important thing is to know who you want in your audience, and that's the messaging part again, to really know who do I want to speak to. So by gaining clarity on that, it actually starts to make sense. Who am I calling in? It sounds like you have some clarity there already. And then in your sales strategy, you always want to have a balance of growing your audience, but also activating them. Because if you're just growing your audience, but you're not actually connecting with them or showing them that you have something to offer, or you're hiding your offer behind freebies or behind people just actually DMing you because they cannot find it anywhere, then it doesn't make sense to grow your audience, because they're not going to resonate with that they can actually buy from you. So you also want to position yourself as a premium seller, as a premium coach in your case, so that people also see you in that light. So that's why the first thing you need to do is to work a little bit on the inbound and on messaging and having some sort of funnel ready. And then you want to also drive traffic to that. And then it really depends on the sales strategy that you chose that works best for you, which can be that you're on Facebook or on Instagram. I recommend to only choose one platform in the beginning to not overwhelm yourself. It doesn't really matter which one. It really depends on where you want to hang out, and you can find clients anywhere if you know the right strategy to do that. So choose the one that you feel most comfortable at. And later you can always include more, but first get your foundation, because you don't need more than one platform to sign your first premium clients. So that's all about focus and giving yourself also that clarity to not have to learn all the different platforms at the same time. Then every platform has a different strategy how you can grow. So it really depends there. I cannot really say anything too specific there, although this is something that I help my clients with in the Magnetic Mastermind. And then it could also be offline. If you're working with moms to be or with young moms, then there are a lot of places where you can identify that they hang out also in the offline world. So you really want to know, where does this client hang out and how can I put myself in front of them? Which, instead of just chasing everybody one-on-one and sending them DMs and doing it like that, it makes more sense to actually grow your audience by stepping in front of other audiences, because then you are attracting a lot more people. And when your messaging is really strong, that's when the magic starts to happen. Because when you have really clear messaging and you're standing in a room with 20 people and 15 people resonate with your messaging, you have 15 potential clients. But if you have really shit messaging and you're just talking to one person one-on-one and that person doesn't resonate, it doesn't make sense, right? So does that help a little bit? Awesome. I see a thumb. I'm going to share a little bit about the Magnetic Mastermind if you guys are interested in that. Just drop in the chat, actually, because I don't want to like show something that nobody's interested in, but I would love to share the journey that I take my clients on, which you can learn a lot from as well, to see the different steps, but then also, of course, how you can actually take that next step if you're really serious about attracting premium clients. Scott says, yes, please. I will also identify a little bit who could be ready for this, and also another offer that I have that might make more sense for some of you. And I have a few slides that I'm gonna grab. I'm very happy with the internet connection now. It went a lot better than in the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna share. Yes. So my signature offer is the Magnetic Mastermind. And in the Magnetic Mastermind, we really look together to find your high vibe sales system, to know exactly what to say, where to say it, so you can consistently attract more premium clients. And this also means that it's really about being in that premium stage already. Or really scaling, but one of the requirements is that you actually have some testimonials. So for Scott, for you, maybe it is too soon, knowing what you shared already, but that I also have another offer where you can start that I created to get you ready. And that's the Premium Breakthrough course, which is a self-study course, and that gives you the time that you need. So you're not feeling pressured inside of the Magnetic Mastermind to get results fast when you're not there yet, when you're not in a place where you actually should be to get the most out of working with me. So I also really select people for this mastermind. I will talk a bit more about that later, but it's really about you also being in a place that you're ready to work with me, because otherwise you would invest in something and I'm sure you will get a lot of value from it, but it might be too soon. The next round of the Magnetic Mastermind is starting the 1st of September, and there are 3 spots available. So if you're interested in that, definitely pay attention to this. And for the mastermind, you are a perfect fit if you have a premium coaching program or service where you're selling something for 2,000 to 10,000 in that range, and you're ready to attract more premium clients consistently. Or you are selling low and mid-priced offers between the range of 50 to 1,500, and you are determined to get out of that rat race that you created for yourself. Because if you've seen some of my content, you know that the low-priced offers are very time-consuming to make a good income from it. If you haven't diving into the premium business model, then just reach out to me. I can share a training with you where I really display the different business models. You can send me a message, Conviction, and then I'll share the 5-day challenge, Conviction in Premium Sales, with you, where you have a walkthrough of everything that I know about this business model. You are also ready to do things differently, to build a foundation of your 6-figure business in a way that feels safe and sustainable, and where you can really be in that high vibe while creating it. Because sometimes you're in a coaching program, or if you've worked with a business coach already, and it's really not a high vibe, because sales and like getting targets and really being focused on pressure strategies is not a high vibe. So you need to be on board with that if you want to work with me. And it's also really time to do things differently. And that means not the old way. So not low vibes, emotional, unstable roller coaster where you're unsure about what your business is going to bring in, not explaining the value of your offer correctly. So being unclear about the messaging, forcing a strategy that is not working for you. So you're kind of stuck in a loop while playing that blame game. Okay, the strategy is not working. It's not working for me. How do I actually get the next client? Just being very unclear about your next step and hanging on to that strategy that you once learned from a coach because you know that strategy and you paid for it, but it's actually not working for you. In the old way, you might have had 1 or 2 premium clients per month, but it's very unsure and very unpredictable. And it's really hustle and showing up and chasing culture. And you're working more than 20 hours per week just on the marketing. The new way that I teach in the Magnetic Mastermind is the high vibes, the personal growth, really the awareness around everything, knowing exactly what to say to activate premium buyers, effortlessly sell your premium offers consistently with your own high vibe sales system. So it's really not a one size fits all solution, but really your system that we're going to create together. It's predictable and it's scalable. It's being supported by sales systems that really help you scale your business and also help you decide how often you should show up, and really having that clarity and also closing your mind after working on your business. You are also not kidding yourself, because this is not a hand-holding type of coaching. You are the leader and I'm here to support you on a journey, but you really have the power in this. And this is also not a quick fix. It takes time and commitment. And although results can be really fast, like I already shared, you can have results in the first 2 weeks, even faster if you want. It can be available really fast, but we're here for a marathon, not for a sprint. We're really building the sustainable foundation. So building a lifelong sales system that takes work upfront to build and also to refine it, but it's really there to support you, like your business should be there to support you. So you need to show up for yourself in this container, and personal responsibility is really essential for this. Your high vibe sales system journey, and this is the 4 phases that I guide my clients through, which starts with the first phase, the premium foundation. That's also why we also talked about the imposter syndrome and about mindfucks and about, like this is something I do with my clients in the container as well, because most of the time we have the same things going on. And when you want to sell premium offers, you also need to take care of your mindset, of your energetics, of the embodiment to really show up in a premium way yourself, because that's how you can lead premium clients into your offer. It's also just the onboarding and the best practices to get the best out of this mastermind experience. That's the first week that we focus on, but the whole experience, we keep coming back to the mindset, to the energetics, for me to hold space for you, to really anchor in that new identity. And what I always say to my clients is, when you start working with me, that version of you is not going to be the same leaving the program. I think Monique can probably confirm that. It's a big transformation. It's a big identity shift when you are willing to invest into a premium business coach and to really come out the other side being a different person, and to be okay with being a different person that is really successful in business, in life, sees themselves differently, and just really up levels on many levels. The second phase, Yeah, Monique, yes, from zero to hero. Yes, definitely. I saw such a big shift in you. So amazing to witness that. I'm always so grateful for the clients who choose me and that I get to guide them on this journey, because it's so powerful to see that shift. Then the second phase is the high vibe messaging, where we do the foundational work of your business, and it takes 2 to 6 weeks, or we start in week 2 and it's kind of until week 6, where we create or upgrade your high vibe premium offer messaging, which can mean we either create a premium offer for the first time when you've sold low priced offers, or we look into your existing premium offer and really upgrade it so that your ideal clients are ready to buy. And when they see the offer, they're like, oh my God, this is for me. We have the Sign Clients Now phase with some activation strategies where you can verify your new messaging and also find new clients while you're verifying your messaging, which is really, really awesome. Also improve your conversion with the Close More Sales Calls, Sales 102 module. I actually saw a question in the Calendly forum for the signups for this call about how can I sign more clients without doing sales calls? And it's a good question, but for premium sales, when you're starting out, I really recommend sales calls. Currently, I'm not doing sales calls. I have a different flow set up, but that's how I have created it. That's only available when you are more advanced, when you have a lot of reviews, when you have an audience that is already excited to work with you. And these sales calls really help you to make sales faster, to speed up the whole process, to do market research, because every sales call is basically market research as well. So that's just a short answer to that question as well. Then in phase 3, so when you have the foundation of your business and potentially also your first clients coming in, we're going to work on the sales system that works for you and really finding a lead generation flow that is tailored to how you want to show up in your business, where you know how to grow your business, your audience, how to activate buyers, and how to consistently close premium clients as well. And that is an ongoing process. We always continue to work on that if you're working with me, just to make your systems work better for you and also be more aligned with you. And in phase 4, which is kind of also in between all the different ones whenever you need it, phase 4 is about the CEO consistency, to claim your CEO power, to hire your first or next team member, and to support the compound effect with consistency. So to really build in systems that make you show up more consistently. And the minimum commitment of the high vibe sales journey in the Magnetic Mastermind is 4 months. I also have a 12-month offer, and basically the difference, I think after this, I have a bigger slide. No. Oh. Yeah, so I'll come back to the difference between the 4 months and 12 months. Sydney is one of my previous clients. I mentioned her already in the call, and she signed her first pay in full after 2.5 weeks working with me. She started as a fitness coach selling membership offers and wasn't selling that much, mostly to her close friends. And that's also a sign that your messaging is not going that great when you're selling based off your own personal network and your referrals, which is very good about it says a lot about your expertise. So it says that you are ready to sell premium offers, but it also signals that you're not actually communicating that clearly what the value of your offer is. So only people that actually know you or that are recommended to you have enough time to establish a level of trust, to ask more, to gain more clarity, and to put trust in you to work with you. So if that's the case, there's so much we can do together. Then after working with her, she became, she repositioned herself as a holistic health coach, more in alignment with her, like with who she is as a person. And she helps high achieving women build mental resilience and physical strength with movement, nutrition, and mindset. If you're looking for somebody in this area, I can highly recommend her. She has such good energy. So definitely check Sydney out. And she can really see herself running a successful business now, especially already after the first month. But then, yeah, like her journey was amazing. She signed her first pay in full client of $2,700 in 2.5 weeks. And she said about that, oh my God, yes, first premium client. Oh, that was actually what I was saying. I will skip that part. She said, yes, it was fate. Even Heidi, my new client, said so. I priced it at $3,000 and gave a 48-hour discount for $2,700. So she paid last night. And that's how fast it can go when you really have clear messaging, because that client was not in her space before. She just got activated by one of the market research strategies. Okay. Oh. Yeah, and basically all the 4 pillars that I talked about, they really work together like a house. I'm not going to go too much into this today, but it's really about the premium foundation that you are putting the house on. You need to have that first before building the house. And then you have the high vibe messaging and the sales systems. The sales systems I compare with the frame of the house, the walls, really the structure of the house to make it a house. But then the high vibe messaging you could compare to the furniture, the people in the house, really the reason why people show up in the house. Because if it's just an empty house, then probably people won't hang out there. And the CEO consistency is that roof, that error for, yeah, just the growth that you're going to see in your business. And also the type of people that I work with, they really are ambitious. They see a big vision for themselves. They want to impact a lot of lives. And it's really about consistently growing. I always say that having your own business is basically personal development on steroids. And when you do grow your business and scale your business, the person that you are today is going to change so much, and it's going to just going to be more of you and really show up in a different way. So you are invited to join us if this resonated and if you feel that you are in the right place to join. If you're unsure, you can always reach out to me and we can talk about that. And I will definitely give my honest recommendation of what makes sense for you in your specific journey right now. But basically, there's a 4-month option where we really focus on the foundation and laying the groundwork and having your first funnels and first version of your lead generation set up. And then you can decide to work on it yourself. Or I also know that some of you are really desiring to be in a 12-month program where you have a full year for this transformation without any rush, with me by your side, and to really anchor in this new level or this new identity. So that's why I also have the 12-month option. And also, let's be real, because you are here, you're showing up for yourself, you know you are meant for more, you feel it, you are ready, and you've been trying so far things that will not get you where you want to be. So you don't need to work with me, but I know you desire this level of support. Most of the people that I attract are givers, and they want to give so much to their clients. They want to impact their lives. And yeah, what my type of work really does is to allow you to also receive support, because being an entrepreneur, especially a premium entrepreneur, means to not just have an expertise, but also to know how to sell in a premium way. And I would love to help you on that journey. So if you want more, then I highly recommend that you apply for the Magnetic Mastermind. You don't need more clients, but you really want them. That's the vibe. Imagine what we could do together if you had a sales system in place that helps you attract premium clients consistently. When you apply for the Magnetic Mastermind, you receive a free exclusive advanced magnetic masterclass, and you can go to pleasureandselling.com/magnetic to claim it and to apply. And basically, yeah, you are invited, because this is the reason why I created the Magnetic Mastermind, to really support you. And the Magnetic Mastermind is about learning high-level income skills that last for a lifetime. High vibe messaging and offer creation or an upgrade of your offer, outbound strategies without cold outreach, inbound strategies, so activating your audience, outbound is growing your audience, inbound strategies to attract instead of chase, organic funnels that activate premium buyers, content creation that calls in premium buyers, content repurposing strategies to make your life really easy, selling in the DMs with an easy, non-salesy flow, sales calls that convert easily. And my clients always tell me this doesn't even feel like selling, which I think is the best compliment, because it's just so much fun to have these calls. And also 50+ examples of very specific strategies that we can work on when you've chosen your specific lead generation strategy. So basically, it's time to apply now and to receive. The invite-only advanced magnetic masterclass will be sent your way when you decide that you're gonna apply. You get a deep dive into the 4 pillars of the high vibe sales system that I briefly explained already. So it's really gonna anchor in the things that I talked about and also give you a little bit more explanation of that. It's only available for those who are invited to join the mastermind. So when you apply, I will review your application and see if you're in the right place. When I accept you, you get this free advanced magnetic masterclass that's gonna give you so much, and you're gonna be able to choose if you want to implement it yourself, but also at the end, I will show you how you can work with me in the Magnetic Mastermind, where I will help you implement this as well. Applying does not mean that you're committing. So it's kind of like testing the waters, but also showing me your interest. But it also doesn't mean that you will get accepted. It does mean that you get this advanced magnetic masterclass. This is an example of one of my other clients, Renato. I worked with him almost a year ago or longer than a year ago already. And it was so much fun. He made 15K by signing 4 clients while we were working on that foundation in the 4 months. And he's an empowerment coach. When he started working with me, he was actually undercharging his services and selling around 500. And he couldn't close sales calls. And he was doing a lot. He was doing like 3 a day. Now he takes his business a lot more seriously. And he knows how to sign premium clients on repeat and is building out his sales system. And he 7 times his price when he was working with me. And this is just the beginning for him. I actually want to check in how he's doing now because it's been a while and I know he's been doing amazing things. And there are many more superheroes that I got the opportunity to support on this journey. People signing their first premium clients, people signing more premium clients. And yeah, just amazing offers being born that really impacted a lot of people that they got to work with. So implementing the high vibe sales system framework has the potential of creating highly profitable 6 and even 7-figure business. So I want you to really feel into that potential. When you see this framework and when you've seen how I coach people and how I could guide you on this process and what becomes available for you when you actually learn these skills, when you can match your expertise with having the sales skills and to show up to attract premium clients in a way that feels good for you. I want you to really also tap into that, like, wow, how cool, because then you can have everything that you desire with your business. And it's not just about being frustrated why premium clients are not showing up, or is your offer actually good enough? Because most of the time it's not even about that. It's really about knowing how to market yourself. Why join now? Well, I like to always answer this question with another question. If not now, then when? There's always going to be an excuse to not do it. And if you're like me, you're probably looking for the reasons why you should do it now. And that is the vibe. If you are just really honest with yourself and answer this question instead of the why join now, just really answer why should I join now? And really focus on that, because time is ticking and I know you want to be there already. Being ready is also a decision, and it really starts with a commitment. The readiness will follow after. So that is my presentation for the Magnetic Mastermind. You are so invited to apply. And the next round is starting the 1st of September. There are 3 spots available. If you are feeling this, go to pleasureandselling.com/magnetic, fill in the application form, and we'll go from there. We'll also have more moments in the DMs to talk about this and to see if you're a good fit. I only take on clients that I know I can support on this journey. And if you're doubting if this is for you, then we can walk through that as well. If you have any questions right now, you can also ask them, but I also know that it's been a long call already. But if you have questions, this is the time to drop them in the chat. I will also go over what people said. Kashni said, thank you so much for all the insights. I need to leave. And Monique also, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm very happy that I got to give this Q&A to you guys today. Any last questions or last words from those who are still with me now? Scott says, thanks, May. I'm keen to look at the breakthrough. Awesome. That's a really, really strong program of the Premium Breakthrough has 10 videos, a self-study course, so lifetime access, and 10 videos that really help you create your offer, structure it in the right way, do the messaging, and then also 5 more videos on how to start selling it with the most basic funnel. Basically, it helps you to just get started, and it's either for you when you're already selling premium offers, but from a chasing perspective and you want to change that, or when you're really starting out and want to learn it the right way. And the people who go through that course have the best foundation to start after in the Magnetic Mastermind. That's how I've set it up. So it would be really cool if you are going through that. And it's really your own timeline, because you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You can have your first sale within 2 weeks, maybe even faster, depends how fast you go. But it's like 20 hours of, I would say 10 hours of video material, 20 hours of implementation. And I have a roadmap with it that helps you do it in 9 weeks if you spend 5 hours on it. Most people take a lot longer because a self-study course takes a lot more dedication. that's why the people who are actually ready to join the mastermind right now, I would recommend to join the mastermind and to have that level of commitment. But the premium breakthrough course for you, Scott, I think it's going to be really, really good. Okay. I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here, for asking amazing questions, and definitely feel free to reach out if you have any follow-up questions about how to work with me from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.